Hello, friends, and welcome in. Today, we're going to be looking at the paid ads experience inside of Keller Williams Command, and we are going to be taking a look at some of the best practices around running the ads, because the running of the ads is actually super simple, right? So, Command has made it very, very easy to run these ads. You don't have to set up a Google account anymore if you want to run a Google ad. The Facebook ads are super easy, unlike running them in Facebook or Meta. All of that part is pretty simple. So we will go over actually how to do it towards the end of class. But more importantly, I want to talk about getting set up, because it's really easy to get excited about the actual running of the ad and what ads can I run and all of those kind of things. But the most important thing is, once you capture those inexpensive leads, how do you convert them into business? Okay. And so what I've done is, on Command, if you go to campaigns, which is our little megaphone over here, and you go to paid ads, there's a video here from Tyler Shields, who is super successful at converting all types of internet leads, right? So internet leads, let's talk about mindset around internet leads for a little bit. You're purchasing leads in different parts of a sales funnel, right? And the Facebook type internet leads are higher funnel leads. This means that they come at a lower cost. However, they take more conversion, right? So it takes more time to convert the leads that you get off of a Facebook or Instagram type ad, as opposed to when you purchase much more expensive leads from a company that maybe did the cultivation for you. You're going to be buying them lower in the funnel, closer to the appointment, but you're going to pay a higher cost. So it's important that we discern what type of leads we're actually going for here. Okay. But what I did is I've watched this video several times, but I took this video and I made it into notes of best practices from somebody who does this at a very, very high level. Okay. So the first thing that you want to focus on is, what is my budget? Okay. So if you're new, if you're just beginning to run paid ads, try to keep your cost low. Okay. Because you're exploring, you're learning how to convert. There's no reason to throw hundreds of dollars at it yet. Feel your way through, see what's working in your market. So determine your budget, right? Or if you're an experienced agent that's got more marketing money, more marketing dollars, maybe you have a team, maybe you have inside sales associates and all those kind of things, then you might want to determine, as opposed to what is my budget, what can I afford to try? How many leads do I need to get? And then you can make a budget to match that. Does that make sense? I just don't want anybody that's just getting into this to think, if I just throw $250 at this, I'm going to get rich, because that's not how this works. Okay. So I want to clear that up first of all. Okay. Now, we talked about these being top of the funnel leads. So you're going to easily be able to create cheap leads. That is not difficult. Running the ads in Command is very, very simple. We're going to look at that in a little bit. But what is important is your mindset around how you're going to convert these people. So 1% conversion is usually what we're seeing with Meta ads specifically. So when I'm talking about conversion rates, I'm specifically talking about Meta ads in Command. So let's look at what those are. So again, I'm in Command. I'm on my campaigns window, my little megaphone. I'm going to click Create Campaign. And I'm going to choose Paid Ad. So I'm going to choose Paid Ad here. And I'm going to see some options of the types of ads that I can run. And again, for anybody that's just jumping in, please make sure that you stop me and ask any questions that you have. we're saving the actual running of the ad for towards the end of class. Right now, we're talking about the best practices and proper way to get yourself set up for success here. So again, when we're talking about meta ads, they are going to be going to Facebook and Instagram. So these first 4 types of ads fit that bill. These have a blue pill down here that says they include the Facebook lead form. So that means that if you run this ad, it is going to capture that lead from that platform and push them into command, giving you a notification that you have a new lead from Facebook. Pam, go ahead with your question.
I'm on the megaphone screen, but for some reason I can't figure out, I missed where I was supposed to go to for this one.
Problem.
I
Not a
just
problem. So we're on campaigns.
Okay, let me go. Okay, let me go back. So we're back on.
And in the upper right corner, you're going to click the teal button that says create campaign.
Okay, let me write that down. Somehow I'm on quick start.
Once you click create campaign, you're going to click paid ad.
Okay, I think I'm on paid ad campaigns. Is that the page?
It should look like this page once you get there.
Okay, I'm there.
Perfect.
Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Okay, cool. So these first 4 are the meta ads that capture the leads and drop them into Facebook. Or into command rather, I apologize. This is why we get to know those metrics pretty well as a company, is because we're actually capturing the leads inside of command and we can track them that way. Every other type of ad has this yellow pill here, okay? These are traffic ads. So what those ads are doing is you're running the ad on the platform. There are some Meta ads here. There are also some Google pay-per-click ads here. They have the G's. And there are some Meta plus Google Display Network ads that you can run here. So you've got what, 1, 2, 3, 8 ads that are using your landing page lead form, using your landing page lead form. Therefore, they will not be captured in command as coming from your ad. You are taking that ad and driving traffic to a place where you are then capturing information. So if that is your Keller Williams website, for example, you're still going to capture the lead inside of command, but the lead source is going to be your website, not the ad. Does that make sense to everybody? Any questions about the differences in those two? Going once, going twice, sold. Okay. And the, oops, excuse me. News is popping up there. The latest release is the TikTok ads. Now, those are so new. They came out right before the holidays, and we don't have metrics on those yet. So if you decide to be one of the first people to run one of those TikTok ads, I would love to have a conversation with you and see what type of success you have. Now, what I will say, because everybody gets all excited about all these different kinds of ads, okay? I get it. These first 4 are going to be your least expensive. They're going to generate the highest number of leads. But again, top of funnel leads that require conversion. Okay. These 2 Google pay-per-click ads attract sellers and attract buyers. What these ads are going to do is actually make you pop up over on the side of Google Just going to grab a zip code here like this. So you might be familiar with seeing those on Google. Check out our trusted agents, make selling your home easy, right? These are subscriptions, okay? They are minimum spend of $250 a month, and it is recommended that you run them for a minimum of 90 days, but preferably much longer. So that's $250 a month for a minimum of 90 days. So you're already looking at a $750 investment. If you're not there in your ad spend dollars yet, don't go here yet. Okay. Same thing with TikTok. It is a minimum spend of $250. They are not cheap. And TikTok ads and Google pay-per-click ads are not right for everyone. And that is okay, right? That is okay. So any questions about that? Pretty good? All right. So the last ones to talk about are these that are going to Facebook, Instagram, and the Google Display Network. These are not as expensive. They're not subscription, okay? But they do not capture the lead inside of Command. They're going to drive traffic to a location that you're having it drive to, and that's the lead capture. That could be your Command website. That could be a third-party real estate website that you had built for yourself. That could be an Eventbrite page. That could be a Google form. It could be multiple different things, but Command is not the vehicle for the lead capture. Good. Pam, is your hand still up from earlier, honey? Or did you have another question?
No, it's up from earlier,
Okay.
sorry.
No, that's okay. I just wanted to make sure because I'm working on 2 screens. So when I looked over, I saw it up. Okay, good. Cool deal. So the ones we're going to focus on today are those first 4, those meta ads, because they are the cheapest. They are the highest yielding. Okay. Now, what Tyler says is 1% conversion, right? Mindset. That means 99% are not going to convert. So it can be tempting to say, look, I have a stack of 1 versus a stack of 99. This isn't working, right? But that's not true because 1 converted, right? Say you ran the ad for $35 and you got 1 closing out of it. That's a huge win, right? Say you ran 10 ads for $35. So you paid a total of $350 and you got 1 or 2 that converted out of it. That's a big win in the world of real estate because these leads are coming in at $3.50 or less, and sometimes even much less, sometimes $1.50, depending on the ad, depending on the market and things like that. But you have to be prepared for that. So you have to be prepared to know 50% of the leads that you capture are never going to answer you. Another 25% of those leads might just say, no, thank you, as soon as you contact them. So that final 25% is where you're going to focus your time and energy. Okay. The ones that are responding to you, the ones that you're getting to have real estate conversations with, are the ones that you want to work and put your energy towards getting them to the closing table. Okay. The second piece of this is scripting, right? So a lot of us as agents are used to working with our sphere or our network or people that we know already. Internet leads are a completely different thing. So we need to come at them with a completely different mindset and with a completely different set of scripts, right? We need to meet these internet leads where they are, okay? So if somebody clicks on my ad for a $500,000 home here in Winston-Salem and they currently live in a $1,200 a month apartment here in Winston-Salem, and they just thought the house was pretty and they're dreaming of home ownership, but they're not there yet. I don't need to immediately pick up my phone and call that person and be like, hey, I saw you clicked on my $500,000 house. Do you want to buy a house? Right? That's not how we meet them. We need to come at them with empathy. We need to come at them with understanding, questions, right? How can I help you? What are you looking to do? Okay. So really think about what type of scripts that you're going to want to come to the table with based on the type of ad that you're running, right? So different type of lead, therefore a different conversation. And the last thing that you want to think about is touches over time. So we can really look at this piece as the systems and model for converting these meta leads. So Tyler's touch system that he speaks on in that video works like this. He wants to leverage tech as much as he can so that less work is on him personally, but it's impossible for you to completely get out of doing the work, right? So here's what his looks like. The first week, there are 14 different touches. 4 of those touches are phone calls that you have to do that piece, right? You have to pick up the phone and you have to call the person, okay? The other 10 touches are automated emails and texts. Now you can use smart plans to have those automated emails and texts. You can also have part of that smart plan be tasks for you to make that phone call. Okay. And we'll look at smart plans here in a second and where you can find some that may fit what you're looking for. Over the next 4 weeks, if that person doesn't answer after that first week, we don't give up. Okay. We don't just stop. And I meant to pull this up beforehand, but I failed to do so. I'm going to pull it up now because I think it's really important to keep in mind when you're running these and when you're doing anything, cold calling, door knocking, farming for expireds or for sale by owners, any of that kind of stuff. Bear with me 1 second because I want to find this. An agent posted these metrics one time and it spoke to me so much that I made a graphic for it. There it is. I can download this fresh and drop it into the chat for you guys because it's a good mindset reminder, right? So 2% of sales are made on the first contact. 3% of sales are made on the second contact. 5% of sales are made on the third contact. 10% of sales are made on the fourth contact. So you're only at 20% of sales at that point. 80% of sales are made on the 5th through 12th contact with a person. 80%. Okay. 48%, almost half of us give up after the first time we've reached out to somebody. 25% give up after the second contact. 17% give up after the third and fourth contact. So that leaves only 10% of agents getting 80% of the sales from lead follow-up, right? That's crazy to me. I'm not sure where this agent got these numbers, but I thought that was just really a good reminder of how much time we have to actually spend getting people to convert. And it doesn't have to all be on us. That's what technology is for. That's what makes it great, is that we can use it to automate parts of our business. And I'm going to drop this into the chat for you guys in case you want to download it for yourself. There we go. Cool deal. Okay. So now that we're done with that, let's look at these. So the first week, 14 different touches, 4 phone calls. 10 touches are automated emails and text. We don't give up after this. Over the next 4 weeks, same number of touches, 14 touches, but it's over 4 weeks instead of 1 week, right? Still 4 phone calls, and the other 10 touches are automated emails and texts. Okay. Then, if you still have not reached them after that first 5 weeks, we don't just stop talking to them, because just because they're not a piece of now business does not mean they won't be a piece of future business. Okay. We could set them up on a bi-weekly neighborhood nurture that would be relevant to the ad that they clicked on. For example, if I ran an ad on a property over in Buena Vista here in Winston-Salem, and yes, I know how to say Buena Vista. That's not how you say it if you live here. So don't fault me for that. But if I run an ad over there and the person never answers me, I can put them on a bi-weekly neighborhood nurture for Buena Vista, right? That way, forever and ever and ever, they're going to be getting an email from me every 2 weeks. And we have learned, since we own all of our technology, that the bi-weekly and the monthly neighborhood nurtures are the least unsubscribed from pieces of communication that we have at this company, because people don't usually unsubscribe from them because it's valuable information to them. Okay. So that way, maybe they weren't ready to buy yet. Maybe they have terrible credit. Maybe they're getting divorced and nobody knows that yet, and they're just dreaming of where they're going to move to next. Maybe they have to wait for their kids to graduate from high school. We don't know, right? We don't know what their life plans are. All we know is that we need to stay in front of them so that when they are ready, we can be the one to help them, right? So these are some of the ways that we can do that. This monthly or bi-weekly neighborhood nurture just goes on forever and ever. Some of you put me on these 3-4 years ago, and I still get the email from you every month, and it still makes me smile every time I see it, right? Because you're not even thinking about the fact that I'm getting it. Okay. So, any questions about the touches? This is just Tyler's best practices. Yours may look different, and that's okay. But I wanted to give you a really strong example of somebody who is a high user, who is highly successful at converting these internet leads and what they do. Okay. All right. So to do it for yourself, and pardon me for a second, I need to log into a different account. But I get to give you a heads up that we're going to see some big changes coming to Smart Plan soon. I'm really excited about. As soon as I'm allowed to show them to you, I will. But if we go to Smart Plans, which is our 4th app on the left, okay, we can come up to the library here at the top, and you can search Facebook, paid ad, all different kinds of things. And you can find things that other agents have published that they find successful for converting their online leads. Okay. So Facebook paid ad lead follow-up, Facebook calls, text, emails, easy button, all different kinds. You can see the ratings. You can see the number of times that they've been downloaded. You can filter these, and say you wanted to run it for just 3 months. You might look for one with the duration of 0 to 3 months, how many touches, how many stars. Maybe you only want to look at ones that are rated 5 stars. Then you could filter down by that. Okay. So you don't need to reinvent the wheel here unless you just really want to. Okay. Questions about how to get to Smart Plans, how to search for Smart Plans that may be advantageous for you to download. Going once, going twice. Okay. So let's say that I liked this Smart Plan. I can click view these steps, see all the different pieces. I can hover and see what they say. So say I think that I like this one, I'm going to click add, and I'm going to download that smart plan. So now that smart plan is available in my smart plan library. I just changed my toggle at the top here. I can now come over and click this edit pencil. And I need to read through this smart plan because I didn't create this smart plan. Mike Hyde created this smart plan. He's not even in my state, right? So I need to actually see what he said and does it work for my market, my area, right? So agent to add to the neighborhood nurture smart plan. So he does something, he gets them in there at the beginning, right? So you need to read through these and see. These are texts. If you have Twilio, these texts will send automatically. This is a demo account that I'm in, so it doesn't have Twilio. That's why it's got that red banner there. My personal account does have Twilio, which is our automated texting platform. So if it was something you wanted automated, you could use it. Okay. And I could choose to send an automated text or to create a text task. So if you would prefer not to use Twilio, you could set the text to actually just give you a task that says text this person this message. Questions about that? Good. And on this smart plan goes. So there's some emails. There's some texts, emails, text, calls, right? And that's just going to be a reminder for you to call them. So go through there and look at which smart plans might work for you. If you like them, great. If you don't see one you like, you might want to consider creating one for yourself. So you could just click create up here and you could say, this is going to be my Facebook follow-up plan and click apply. And you could say, okay, at first I want it to send an email and I want that email to say, hello, contact, first name. Thank you so much for your interest in the property I posted on Facebook and Instagram. If you are like me, you may have forgotten what you clicked on. So here is the link to that property on my website. And then I can go to my website. I can pull up that property. And now I could just copy this. Click here. I can highlight the word click here and drop that link right there. Okay. And then I could go on to complete this email. So maybe that's my first step. Then the same day, this is how my smart plan personally is set up. I want them to get an email automatically because if they click on my ad at 11 p.m., I'm not going to call them because it's 11 p.m. But I don't want them to think that they're being ignored. So I have my system set to automatically send them an email. Okay. Give it a title here. Right? But simultaneously, I'm going to have it set to make me give them a phone call. Okay. And And I'm just gonna say call, contact first name, contact last name, call for Facebook ad follow-up. Step 1, I could even put a script in here if I so desired. If it's during the day, I may go ahead and give them a call, right? But what if I'm out showing properties? I can't call them right then. So I know that that email is going out. Make sense? Questions? You guys are quiet. Good. Okay. So then I could set a delay. Remember, he said 14 touches in the first week. I've already got 2. I've got an email. I've got a phone call. So maybe I'm going to delay for 1 day. Then I'm going to have it send them a text. Again, there's no Twilio on this account, but just say it was a text task. It could say, hey, contact first name. This is Monica Perry with KW. Just reaching back out about the property at address, or about the ad, whatever you want it to say. Okay. That's why I say it's always good to go look at someone else's ad. Because even if you don't do the exact same thing, you get an idea of what some people are doing, right? So there's your text automated. So delay again, then maybe it's going to be another phone call, right? Then maybe you're going to send another email that day. Then maybe you're going to delay again and send a text. And then maybe you're going to delay again. And so on and so forth, right? I gave you a layout of what Tyler does. First week, 14 touches. Next 4 weeks, 14 touches. Then, if you still haven't met them, set them up on a biweekly neighborhood nurture. Now, I have people that have different schools of thought on how they want these smart plans to be set up. Some folks want it all in one smart plan, so they just set it and forget it. Some folks want it to be separate smart plans that are triggered at the end of other smart plans. It's really up to you how you want it to work. I am a one smart plan kind of girl. So just so you guys can see the way that I would do it, say this was the end of my, let me do a couple more steps here till I get to day 7. So you can see I'm on day 6. So now I'm on day 7. So I have done what I was supposed to do. I've made my calls and sent my automated emails and text, 14 touches for the first 7 days. Now I want to give them a little bit of a break. So when I set my delay this time, it's going to be for 3 days. Then maybe I want it to send them an email. Then I'm going to delay for 4 days. Maybe if I could click the buttons right. Then I want to delay for 4 days, and then I want to call them to check in. Then I'm going to delay again, right? So then towards the end of this is, remember, this is going to go on for a total of 5 weeks. So towards the end of that 5 weeks, I set a task for myself that says, make sure to add a neighborhood. Sorry, I got a pain in my shoulder there. Make sure to add neighborhood to contact first name, contact last name. Check which ad they came in on and add that neighborhood to their contact card. I'm going to make this high priority, and I may even want to give it like a due date. So I know that I do a lot of cleanup of my day at 4:00 p.m. So maybe every day at 4, that's the day, that's the time that I want to be checking to see that people have neighborhoods in their contact card. Okay. So the reason I'm doing this is because then I'm going to have it set a delay. I'll give myself 3 days to make sure I get that neighborhood put in there. And then I'm going to have it add them to an additional smart plan, which is the bi-weekly neighborhood nurture. So it gave me a task to go in and put the neighborhood in their contact. And now in 3 days, it's going to drop them into that bi-weekly neighborhood nurture. And that's going to send them an email every 2 weeks, every 2 weeks, every 2 weeks. Right. And so in Tyler's video, and I might play a little bit of it for you guys before we look at actually running the ad. I think he really speaks well to how his team handles this. Once you put them on that drip, essentially, which is what this is, it's just a drip that goes out every 2 weeks. It's going to look like this. Hi, client first name. Check out these updates from a neighborhood you're following, and don't hesitate to reach out if you have any questions. And he would be able to see the properties that are currently for sale and the average listing price and all that kind of fun stuff. They then monitor how much interaction that person is giving with these drips, right? And you can easily monitor that from command if it's what you're using for this purpose. So I'm not going to keep spending my time on someone who's not answering me, but I am willing to have something automated and just to keep an eye on any interactions they may be having, right? If I see their interactions tick up in the next 6 months, like 6 months from now, they're all of a sudden in here looking at stuff and clicking on houses and looking at all these different things on here, then it may be worth my time to start investing back into them and see where I can take that. Does that make sense? Cool, cool. All right. So I've covered most of what Tyler said, but I do want you to hear towards the end what he's talking about. Then we're going to go actually and run a paid ad on this beautiful listing at Wellington Road, listed by Jessica Ferris in my Winston-Salem office. Okay. All right. Questions before we go into this video? Going once. Going twice. Sold.
Yeah, I would say like this year, we're somewhere around 30%. It's a different type of lead, a different situation. So you're looking to buy a house, how can I help, right?
Lead to get them to the closing table eventually.
The only thing I like to say about the script is just people are so used to working with Sphere and working with referral that they forget where the lead is coming in the funnel. And this is not a, hey, I see you're looking to buy a house, how can I help, right? Like you have to really meet them where they're at and just get used to empathy, you know? And so, yeah, we won't get into specifics, but I think that's the main thing people have to realize. Like it's a different type of lead, a different situation. So it necessitates a different type of conversation they have to be ready for.
And I agree with you. Like at the end of the day, sure, there's probably some fine tweaks you could make to get a slightly higher amount of leads for a slightly lower price, but getting the leads at a cheap price is not going to be an issue. You're going to get them. It's what do you do with them when you get them, and do you have exactly what you said, the mindset, the scripts, and the touches over time, which to me, that's the system and the model on how to do this. So you get a new lead in the system, you've got your mindset right, you've got your scripts. How often are you, like, are they on one drip plan? Are you putting them on a drip plan right when they come in? Like, how are you working through these?
Yeah, so I think it's really important to leverage technology so that
All
4
right.
calls, but I know that the client is getting 14 different touches. But if I don't get a hold of them in that first week, show me they don't like deserve as much of my
There we
attention,
go.
right?
Let's go
Through
with it.
automated text and email. So I'm putting 25% less urgency and frequency and effort into the lead because they've shown me they don't like deserve as much of my attention, right? And if I still don't get a hold of them after that, I'm setting them up on some sort of property drip and then forgetting it unless they show me with their attention on the property drip that I should reach out. And so that's just trying to get a hold of them and have a conversation.
And then this is how I assume that you have these, 12 or 18 month, or I imagine some cases 2-3 year leads that they've been on a property drip forever. And all of a sudden you get an email like, hey, I'd love to see this house. Or, is the market changing? Or you see their activity pick up because you're kind of watching if they're active in your system. Is that right?
Absolutely. Yeah. Part of our agent's process is to be consistently monitoring their activity on the website. So if they're not responding and they're not on the website, we're probably not putting energy there. But the moment we see them looking at properties on the website, we're kind of starting that reach out process again because their activity shows me they are interested.
Wait, Tyler, this has been awesome. If I'm an agent out there that wants it, that like, okay, I need more leads in
All right. So you heard it from Tyler. He's super successful. Keller Williams is an open book company. You could probably go on and see how many sales Tyler has if you so desire to see that he is a definitely a credible source for this type of information. But like they said, the actual running of the ads is easy. The most important part is the follow up. So with that being said, let's jump in to the paid ad campaigns. And again, we're going to run the ad on this property. There are several types of ads you can run. You can use your website for different things. I teach classes on different types of ads to run. But bottom line, single property ads on Meta are the cheapest and the highest yielding in terms of number of leads. So that's where we're going today. Okay. So this is the property. I'm going to come over here to campaigns. I'm going to click on the create campaign button in the upper right corner. And I'm going to choose paid ad. And this time I'm going to choose the very first one, which is, oh wait, I got to get out of it. My apologies. I have to get out of this account and back into my own account. Forgot about that. If my internet would like to work for me, that would be fantastic. Jump out of here and jump in as me. There we go. Okay, let's try that again. So I'm going to create campaign and choose paid ad. My options are going to come up and I'm going to choose the first option, which is a listing, single image, or video. Click. Okay. If you have multiple Facebook pages like I do, you need to choose your page. Most people only have one, so you will be able to skip that step. Okay. And then since you chose that you were running the ad on a listing, all you have to do is please add your listing. Okay. Added and slipped in right at the end of 2023, we finally got the MLS ID search back. So I could just search by the MLS ID now, especially if it's your listing or if you pulled it out of the MLS in your office. If you don't have your own listing, y'all, don't let that stress you out. Just ask somebody in your office if you can run an ad on their listing, because the worst thing that they're going to do is say no, which isn't really that big of a deal, right? You can just go ask the next person because their goal is to get their listing sold and your goal is to try to get some clients to sell homes too. So why not work together? Okay. So you can come in here and search for properties in different ways. I just did it by address, but again, we can do it by MLS number now. You could search by the listing agent's name. There's different things that you can do. Okay. I'm going to click done. So now that I've chosen the property, on the right, you're going to see my ad start to update. Okay. Beautiful home in Winston-Salem, just listed. Okay. Targeting. By default, it's going to target 15 miles around the subject property. You could increase that all the way to 50 miles if you so chose. Okay. 15 miles is the minimum. Or you can use custom locations. So this is great for my Outer Banks folks. This is great for my agents that list super expensive properties, because a lot of times we will notice that people move to our state from other states and they see the prices here and they're blown away. So it may be advantageous to you to run an ad in a different market than just our market, right? So I'm going to use my zip code because that's where this house is located. But I could also add New York. New York, New York. Maybe I know that a lot of people move here from that area. Maybe I know that a lot of people move here from Newark, New Jersey. Do I not know how to spell? There we go. Newark. Thought I did. There we go. So I can run this in up to 10 different locations if I so chose by using this custom location at the bottom. Then I still use that targeting radius, and it's a targeting radius around each of the locations that I've chosen down here in my custom locations. Okay. I'm going to leave this defaulted to that listing location in a 15-mile radius though. As I move down to media type, if I wanted to upload a video as opposed to an image, I could do so here. I like to keep these as simple as possible. My goal is to get this locked and loaded and put out, catching leads as fast as I can. I don't want to put a lot of work into it. They're going to be inexpensive. It's going to capture leads. I already know that. I don't need to put a ton of effort into this. Front exterior photo is fine with me. A lot of people, especially if the house has like a really fancy kitchen or something really nice, or if it's the middle of summer and the house has a pool or anything like that, they may choose to look at a different image. You can see if you hover, it will show you the different images, and you could choose one that was not the front exterior if you wanted to. Okay. So maybe I wanted to highlight that kitchen. Now we're down to text. Few key things on this piece. Okay. I do not like to show, personally, I don't like to show the price of a property on my ad. That's just my personal opinion. Okay. Everybody has their own opinion on how this is. I don't like to show the price. So I might take price out and just say just listed. Okay. Oh, had a period and an exclamation point there. Number of beds, number of baths. I see that they've changed the default here on the headline. So that's awesome. This used to show the address, which I also did not like, because if you're showing them all of that stuff out of the gate, why do they need to click on your ad? If I showed you that the property was located at 826 Wellington Road in Winston-Salem, why do you need to click on this? You can simply Google search 826 Wellington Road in Winston-Salem and find the information out. I want you to want to click through on my ad, right? To get information. So beautiful new home in Winston-Salem, just listed, number of bedrooms, number of baths. Very simple, very clean. That's my ad. Okay. If you wanted to get fancier with it, you have a little magic wand here. This is using AI to generate comments, if you will. So if you wanted to use this, you definitely could. You could change the style and then see what it says. Attention seekers of the sanctuary from stress and worries of life, blah, 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 blah. Right? I could have it do that if I so wanted to. Like I said, I just like to keep it pretty simple. But I could definitely use that AI button if I wanted. Okay. Now, post lead submission destination required. So let's talk about where Facebook ads show up real quick. If I go to Facebook and I'm scrolling, oh, there's Brett, love him. I'm scrolling, boom, that's an ad. Okay. I keep scrolling. There's Hunter, Megan. Boom, there's another ad. I was looking at these boots the other day. Therefore, that ad is up here, right? So that's where these ads are going to pop up. If I click on the ad, I want the ad to take me to where I can look at the boot that I'm interested in. Make sense? So you need to let the person, when they click on learn more, go to look at the property that you're showing them. So remember, I said I wanted people to click through on my ad. I didn't want to give them the whole meal. I wanted to only give them a snack. So they would want to click, but then they clicked, I captured their data in Command. So now I need to give them the information that I told them they could have if they clicked on it. So that's where this post lead submission destination needs to go. Just like when I clicked on the boot, it needs to take me to see the boot, right? So since they clicked on that house, I want to take them to see the house. So your website on that specific listing is a great place for them to land. So now I just need to copy this, right? And then put it in to my post lead submission destination field. So once they click on learn more and Command captures them as a lead, it is going to drop them onto my website where they can look at the details of this property. Make sense? Cool, cool. All right. Lead settings. How do I want my leads to be managed and tagged? I want these to get tagged as Facebook ad. Okay, so I have one called Facebook ad. And I might have another one that is, maybe I want to specify that this is 826 Wellington. I don't have that tag yet. Okay, so I can just click create new tag. Now that tag exists. So now they will be tagged that way. Then for my smart plan, I want them to automatically be put on my on here somewhere. 2023 Facebook follow-up. That's the smart plan I want them to drop into. So once they click on that ad, it's going to direct them to my website. It's going to capture their lead inside of Command. It is going to tag them with my Facebook ad tag and 826 Wellington. And it's going to automatically start them on the smart plan, which the first step of is an email that sends out automatically and a task for me to call them, right? Again, if it's during the day, I may go ahead and call them. If it's later in the evening, I'm probably not going to call them until the next day. But those things are going to automatically happen when they are captured, okay? Then all I have left is my compliance down here. It's defaulting to the logo that's in my marketing profile. You can I know that you guys are probably on a smaller screen than me, but in this preview, you can barely see where it says KW Elite down here in the lower right corner of that image. That's my compliance logo, and it's already good to go. Okay. So talking through this took me a little bit to show you guys how to do it. But once you've done this, I can get this process done in about 30 seconds, literally. And then I just proceed to last step. And how much money do I want to spend? When do I want it to start? It defaults to 5 days. I could adjust this up or down. And the least I can spend, I believe now is about 35. Let me see. No, I could spend 30. I could spend 25. Okay. So I could spend $25. It looks like about, okay. So 25 is the lowest. 25 for 5 days. If I increase days, I'm going to need to increase my dollar spend. And then my card's already in there from where I've run an ad before. I just hit purchase now and off it goes. It says it takes up to 24 hours. This new experience much, much faster. So it doesn't really take that long for these to get approved. And then they're off to the races, right? So hopefully this helps you guys maybe the year of 2024 is going to be your year of trying out some paid ads. Remember, this is not going to replace the other things that we do as real estate agents. We still need to be speaking with our sphere. We still need to be holding open houses, and all of our other marketing efforts, but this is a great way to add to our current marketing efforts, and expand our reach out a little bit for a low cost per lead. So any questions before we wrap up?
I do, Monica.
Yeah, go ahead.
So would I essentially do the same thing for the paid ads if I want to do it for an event? that I
Yeah.
have?
So that's a great question. I just showed the single property ad because
Mhm.
it's the easiest one. But when you're going to create a paid ad, you also have other choices, Jamie. This one was listing single image, listing multi-image, multiple listings, or a non-listing. So that would be like your event, right? Home buyer seminar, something like that. Make sense?
It does, yes. Okay, I'll try that one.
And then you could just upload an image or something. And if you were using, say, an Eventbrite for them to register,
Mhm.
that could be the landing link.
Okay, all right, thank you.
Of course. Any other questions, friends?
I've noticed that I was trying to play around with the same time you were doing it with one of my listings. And my Facebook page, it tells me I'm not the owner of it.
Oh, yep, that can be a problem. I can definitely help you with that, Pam, if you just give me a second when we get off of this Zoom. Guys, to Pam's question, if you're watching this video and you run into something like this, what's usually happened is that over the years or over the months or however much time you've had a Facebook business page, different people got different administrative permissions on there, and sometimes it can cause a hiccup. That is a come directly to Monica's situation because everyone's a little bit different and everyone takes a little different fixing. So if you ever do run into that, just come and let me know. And Pam, as soon as we get done recording, I'll help you, honey.
Okay, thank you.
Oh, you're welcome. Anybody else? All good? Was this helpful?
Yes, I would like to look at the recording again.
Mhm. I'll have the recording put up by the end of the day. Cool. In case you guys didn't see it, I pushed out a survey in all of your Facebook pages, or if you're one of my offices that uses WhatsApp, I pushed it out there. If you wouldn't mind filling out that survey for me, it should take very limited amount of time, but I always like to try to revamp things and make them as useful as possible for you guys at the beginning of each year, and then I revisit around the middle of the year. My 2021 feedback, I've lost my years, or maybe it was my end of 2021 going into 2022 feedback, I don't remember, was that my old website was too cluttered. So I launched this new website a year and a half, 2 years ago, I can't remember now. And part of my survey is, do you know that this website exists? And if you do know that this website exists, what can I do to make it easier for you guys to use? So that's just a small part of the survey, but if you guys don't mind filling out that survey, I would greatly appreciate it because I'm always striving to get better for all of you. And if you see a friend around the office, say, hey, did you fill out Monica's survey? And get them to do it as well. I would so much appreciate it. And I hope that you guys have a fantastic rest of your week and a wonderful weekend if I don't talk to you beforehand. And have a wonderful day. We'll talk to you all soon. Bye.